home. The game is afoot.
Not a word.
The game
Into
is
your
afoot.
clothes and come. I'll wait for you in the sitting room. I've just received a note from Inspector Lestrade. A letter from the suburbs. He is in need of my presence.
The first chapter we did, I didn't know that was the moral choice. And I accidentally let the guy go. But he killed the guy on accident. This was definitely on purpose for, fame and money.
All seem worthy of...
However, I regret your fatal habit of looking at everything from the point of view of a story instead of a scientific exercise.
Oh, Holmes, you...
I beg your pardon, I digress. It would be much better to examine this letter than to try to convince you.
Come over here. The letter is on the table, Holmes. You should take a look.
Okay. I don't know why. Why? Why? What was the point of that? I don't want to see it again.
A wax seal with the monogram E.B.
Okay.
The Brackenstall family coat of arms. A wax seal with the monogram E.B.
How do I open it?
I can tell from Lestrade's handwriting that he was in a hurry when he wrote this letter.
My dear Mr. Holmes, I should be very glad of your immediate assistance in what promises to be a most remarkable case. It is something quite in your line. Except for releasing the lady, I will see that everything is kept exactly as I have found it. But I beg you not to lose an instant, as it is difficult to leave Sir Eustace there. Inspector Lestrade. Okay.
So, what is it, Holmes?
Promising, as always, it appears to be a case of murder.
As
so
always.
You believe that Sir Eustace is dead?
I should say so. Lestrade wouldn't have sent for me for less. His writing shows considerable agitation, and he is not an emotional man. These people belong to high society. The quality of the writing paper, the EB monogram, their coat of arms. The crime was committed before midnight.
Holmes, how can you possibly tell?
Well, it is all thanks to Lestrade. He wrote his letter at 3:30 in the morning. Imagine the chain of events before that. The local police had to be called in. Scotland Yard was notified. Lestrade himself had to make haste there, and finally compose the letter he sent to me. All of that makes for a fair night's work.
It makes sense. Lestrade also speaks of the woman he released.
That seems to indicate that she had been held somewhere during the crime. Much time has been wasted. Let us find a cab and go to Abbey Grange immediately. I live in hope of an interesting morning.
All right, investigate the murder.
Ah, Mr. Holmes and Dr. Watson, here you are. I'm very glad that you have come, but perhaps I should not have troubled you after all.
And why is that?
Lady Brackenstall has come to her senses, and she has given so clear an account of the affair that there is not much left for us to do. You remember that Lewisham gang of burglars?
What, the three Randalls?
Exactly. The father and two sons. It's their work. They stole a silver service, which is of great value.
Sir Eustace Brackenstall is dead, then?
Yes. His head was knocked in with his own poker.
A violent act of aggression.
Yes, the poor lady. She has had a most dreadful experience. She was assaulted and tied to a chair. But I think that you would best see her and hear her account of the facts. She's in the morning room with her maid, Teresa Wright.
Where is the body of the deceased?
In the dining room. We haven't touched anything.
All right, I'm going to examine it.
Very good, Watson.
Murder. A murder and a burglary, I guess?
Sir Warthen Brackenstall.
Well, I want to...
Lord Brigham Brackenstall. Lord Ramsay Brackenstall, Baron Lyndon Brackenstall,
So many Brackenstalls.
Lord George. The Brackenstall family seems rather austere. Ladies, allow me to introduce myself. My name is
There's a
Sherlock
black
Holmes.
eye.
I'm assisting Inspector Lestrade in this investigation.
Mr. Holmes, I am the wife of Sir Eustace Brackenstall. We were married only a year ago.
I am sorry for your loss. Please accept my deepest condolences.
I suppose that it is no use my attempting to conceal that our marriage has not been a happy one. I fear that all would tell you that, even if I were to attempt to deny it.
Okay, so let's profile her. Fresh bruises. Pale cheek. Gold brooch. Kangaroo and emu Australian. Elegant dress. Old bruises. And a wedding ring.
You mentioned that your marriage was not a happy one. Was there anything specific that was troubling you?
He was not a nice man when he was drunk, and he suffered from dark moods, but nothing else.
Old bruises?
The bruises on your hands are at least 1 week old. Your husband caused those bruises?
Oh, do you? Yes, he did. He was very angry at the time. Out of control. Again. Sir Eustace was a drunkard. To be tied to such a man for life is worse than death.
Hey,
Can you
what is
describe to me the events of yesterday evening?
Is it really necessary? I have already told Inspector Lestrade all that happened.
Yes, madam, it is.
I will tell you then. Sir Eustace retired about 10:30. I sat in this room until after 11, absorbed in a book. Before I went upstairs, I entered the dining room to fetch a candle and... oh God.
Please, go on.
As I approached the French window, I found myself face to face with an elderly, broad-shouldered man who had just stepped into the room. Close
elderly?
behind the first man, I saw two others.
Oh,
One
the
of them struck
father and
me
the
a
two
savage
sons.
blow with his fist and felled me unconscious to the ground.
And then?
When I came to myself, I found that they had secured me tightly to a dining room chair. It was at that instant my unfortunate husband entered the room.
He fought with the intruders?
Yes, I think he had heard them, for he was holding his stick. But they were three, and he eventually succumbed. One of them, the elder one, struck him a terrible blow with the poker. I fainted once more. When I opened my eyes, they had withdrawn. Then my brave Teresa came to my assistance.
Is Teresa her, like, servant, or...?
Did these three villains steal anything?
Yes, I found that they had taken the silver from the sideboard, but you can see for yourself in the dining room.
Your ladyship?
Yeah, I think it's her servant. I'm pretty... Yep.
Teresa, I would like to hear your testimony.
Certainly, sir.
Let's get the profiling over with. Wrinkles. The handkerchief, vinegar smell. Caring. Coffee stain. No buttons. Oh, wait. Working hand. Now tell me.
As I sat by my bedroom window, I saw three men in the moonlight down by the lodge gate. But I thought nothing of it at the time. Oh, if I'd known.
And then?
I went to bed, and it was more than an hour after that I heard my mistress scream. And down I ran, to find her tied to the chair and him on the floor with his head smashed. That's all I know.
kind of ruins the mystery if we know who did it. Oh, this is 5 pages. Family business booming, the Randall gang is back on the street. Less than a fortnight ago, this infamous family of burglars, the Randalls as they are known, made their reappearance by the way of brutal but successful intrusion onto one of the wealthier homes in Sydenham. The police are already on their trail, however, the details of the crime are being kept confidential, including the name of the victim. A witness was able to provide a precise description of all 3 men, and this will surely give the police a chance to complete their profile on this family of delinquents. We would take the liberty of reminding our esteemed readers about this highly dangerous band, and to provide the full description as it is available at this moment. The gang has been in business for some considerable time, being a family of 3, a father and his 2 sons. The elder, Jack Randall, is a man in his 40s and already gray-haired, while of average height and build. Being the mastermind behind the burglaries, he retains control over his sons, both of whom are close in age, but very different in appearance. The first son is William Randall, is tall and broad-shouldered with small, disproportionate head. The younger brother, Melvin Randall, is somewhat weaker constitution, and is skinny as a rake. The gang is wanted not only for their frequent thefts and break-ins, but for the exceptionally brutal pirate career they enjoyed before returning to England. Be alert, and may your valuables stay safe.
The description of the Randall gang provided by Lady Brackenstall is identical to the one in the Times article.
Oh, it wants me to use the site. Picture? Scratches.
These scratches are most definitely made by the picture frame.
Well, that was easy.
This is Sir Eustace's safe. There may be something important inside. I must ask Lady Brackenstall to open it.
Small table.
This photograph of Lady Brackenstall and her maid Teresa was taken at a port, but which one?
Right there. Oh, we can. Oh, we're just gonna take it out of the. Wow.
So the lady and her maid came from Australia a year and a half ago on this ship.
That was easy.
Lady Brackenstall, could you open this wall safe?
No, it is my husband's safe. I do not know the combination.
We have to open it.
Can we pick the lock?
Ladyship?
Well, if you don't know, like, would you be cool with me picking the lock?
Let us try to open this safe.
I'm gonna pick the lock.
This safe can be cracked. I only have to pay attention. The dial will vibrate when it is set to the correct number.
Awesome. Sir Eustace, your current physical and mental state is of great concern. There are several signs of a hepatic decomposition. The last time that we met, your eyes were bloodshot and your skin was tinged with yellow. There's a particular odor from your breath that is common in those suffering from liver damage. Then there are lung abscences that we have discussed. The leg cramps you have described to me are caused by an alteration to the nervous system, which in turn is caused by an excess of alcohol. That includes the tremor. Your liver seemed excessively hard at the time of your examination, which is a sign of an evolving cirrhosis. There are also signs of fluid in the peritoneal cavity, which are evident with your swollen stomach. The pain beneath your left rib indicates a pancreatic malady, which may lead to fatal and fulminant pancreatitis. Your condition may pose a risk to others. Your excessive alcohol consumption lowers your self-control and heightens your aggression. I am available to help you with this problem. Hi, Kusu. Basically that whole thing was
Antique
just like
coins, possibly
a lot of
value,
alcohol,
but
a
they're
lot of
scattered
alcohol,
without
liver
care.
failure because of alcohol.
Antique coins, possibly of value, but they're scattered without care. It is common practice to keep one's valuables in a safe behind a painting. It should not really pose a challenge for a criminal.
Yeah, I mean, we already knew he was an alcoholic, but that letter from the doctor just kind of confirms it from a medical standpoint.
Oh, what a horrible thing to have happened.
Sir
Well, I guess she
Eustace's
has more
doctor
stuff to
speaks of
say.
his violent behavior.
Yes, Sir Eustace was an extremely violent man. A detestable human being, to be more precise. It is true that he once threw a decanter at me, and all because I dared to stand up to him in defence of my mistress. Sly devil. God forgive me that I should speak of him so now that he's dead, but a devil he was, if ever one walked the earth. We met him only 18 months ago. She'd only just arrived in London. Yes, it was her first voyage. She'd never been from home before. Wonder with his title and his money and his false London ways. If she made a mistake, she has paid for it, if ever a woman did. She doesn't have any friends here, so it was especially hard for her.
They're leaning heavy on the alcohol and the abuse. Part of me thinks it's not the gang, and because the gang is back, they're just using it as an excuse. Like they're trying to pin it on them, and they might have, like, the maid or the wife may have killed him just out of safety.
You should examine the body of Sir Eustace Brackenstall.
Am I having fun? I like mystery. I like murder mystery.
The hunting scene.
I'm just excited to see what the newer games are.
It appears that the bell rope was cut by someone taller than me.
Hi, baby bunny.
So, Watson, what have you learned from examining Sir Eustace's body?
Oh, he's barefoot.
Well, I can confirm that the death was instant. Sir Eustace was facing his attacker when he received the blow to his head. There are no other apparent injuries.
Quite a large stick, a formidable weapon. Quite a large stick,
Oh.
a formidable weapon.
Like a cane?
Barefoot, he had therefore been in bed and did not have time to fully dress. The head was cracked with the force of the blow.
Had to have been something strong.
That must be the murder weapon.
No! Not this guy, at least. It's dirty.
It is covered in blood. Sir Eustace
At
might
least
have struck
clean
his head upon
them.
it
Jesus.
while falling from the blow. That is one possible explanation.
What would you do? What would you do if I got a barefoot model?
A fur trader's cabin.
Yeah. Show off them grippers.
This glass has some wine traces, but no visible beeswing. There is beeswing at the bottom, as if the wine had not been decanted before being poured. This glass has some wine traces, but no visible beeswing. It is rather strange that only one of these glasses has dregs of beeswing inside it, while the other two are clear. A decanter standing next to the open bottle, an inseparable pair indeed. Chateau Calon Ségur, French wine, Grand Cru.
Grand Cru. And this is where she was tied up.
Sailor's knots. That's interesting. This rope was handled by the murderers. We need a scent hound to follow their trail. I will take it with me.
Oh, he's just like, I'll take it. This is mine now.
This is the chair that Lady Brackenstall was tied to.
He does that a lot. He does contaminate evidence a lot.
This candlestick is valuable. It is interesting that it was not also stolen.
I don't know. I don't think it was the brothers that she claims it was.
These wine bottles are expensive and mostly from France.
Especially with that, well, because that she said that she was like punched by one of them.
An empty silverware
But like,
box. It appears
she could have
that
just
the
said
intruders
that,
have
and her
stolen
husband
the
was the one that
contents.
punched her. But we also, I don't think we've talked to at least for this case. Am I missing something?
A bottle of wine is missing
The
here.
empty.
The criminals did not thoroughly ransack the house. They only took a little silverware.
Or it wasn't about the theft at all. More personal.
A deer hunt.
It was.
The death
No!
was instant.
A fur trader's cabin.
No, what?
This door leads to the upstairs bedrooms. Apparently the criminals did not venture there.
Right. Oh, it actually wants us to... Oh, this is pretty. This is so pretty. So I'm guessing these are the front doors. Right. That's so weird to just have this whole area here. You can't interact with it. Like they just made this for fun. But before we go and fetch our dog Toby.
Antique hunting weapons.
Wow, that just cut off the music. There's stuff that I haven't in yet.
The hunting scene.
I just want to make sure I get all of it. To do as little back and forth as possible. Have stuff to say? Apparently you do.
What do you know about Sir Eustace, Inspector? What was his reputation?
A charming man when sober, but an absolute demon when he was drunk. In such moments, he was apparently capable of anything. Why, once he splashed fuel on Lady Brackenstall's dog and set it alight. Another day, he threw a decanter of wine at Miss Wright's head.
The alcohol seemed to madden him.
To the point that we were forced to intervene several times to avoid a scandal.
So let's see. Domestic violence. That's the truth. Lady Brackenstall married Sir Eustace shortly after arriving in England and remained at home during that time. There's little possibility that she or her maid are acquainted with anyone in the country, or she's acquainted with a sailor. Where are the other 3 people? There were 3 people drinking wine out of these glasses. One of the 3 probably prefers wine with V-swing. Or there was only 2 people. There were 2 people drinking wine out of these glasses. The remaining glass with the V-swing consisted solely of the dregs from the glasses. I'm just gonna pick that for now. Randall's blame. The robbery was fake, and the whole story invented in order to blame Sir Eustace's death on the Randalls. That's what I think it is. Or the testimonies and evidence matched to point to the Randall gang. No, I think it was framed. Deadly accident. The death of Sir Eustace could have been due to his accidentally striking his head on the fireplace grate. Right, because there was blood on the grate, so he could have like fallen and hit his head, and the death was an accident. Or it could have been someone hit him with a poke. I'm not gonna pick one just yet. But at least me thinking he was framed, kind of goes in line with that is an option. I 100% think that they're framed. Why would they call us here if they already know who did it? Not to mention, like they said, only some silverware and stuff, and like one bottle of wine was stolen. Like, they didn't steal that, like, the super duper expensive stuff, if it was a robbery.
There are 3 glasses on the dining room table. I was wondering if...
Oh, I forgot. When I came to myself the first time, each of them had a glass in his hand. They might have been a father and his 2 sons. They talked together in whispers, and then they left.
Your ladyship?
Please leave my Mary alone. She suffered so much, she deserves some rest.
But let's go do the dog. Apparently we're missing stuff that I haven't investigated here, but we'll finish it. So let's go get the dog and have him sniff the evidence that we stole and see where it leads us. Where's our dog? Wasn't he just on the... Oh, there he is. Hi. Toby.
Come on, Toby. We need the best nose in the British Empire on this case.
Talk to Toby.
I agree with you, Toby, that Watson's shoe is preferable to Mrs. Hudson's cold cuts.
Oh, we have to perform an analysis first.
Let us see how the rope was cut. The fibers at the end of the rope are smoothly cut. Let us try to find out what tool was used to cut the rope. The fibers from this cut appear to be different.
So not scissors. Pair of cutters?
The fibers from this
No,
cut
not
appear
cutters
to be different.
either. Just a straight up knife?
If I cut the rope with a knife,
Damn,
it
that's a
matches the
sharp
original.
knife. So, sailor background. The rope was cut once with a sharp knife and tied quickly in sailor's knots. That could indicate the intruder had a sailor's background. Okay, so I would agree with that. Is he collected because he's standing? Oh, yeah, I guess so. Taking dog on a ride.
Search, Toby.
Oh, we're Toby. Dog simulator? Open the door for me. Sure. Wow, you have long arm. This is as fast as I'm sprinting. This is...
The intruders entered the shed for some reason when they were making off with the silverware.
And then the scent goes back this way. He's so chunky. What a chunky boy.
The scent leads to the well. I should check it.
Oh, to be round. Just one big giant ball.
The intruder's trail is lost behind this wall.
Why are my lips moving?
The criminals left the house through the French window. They walked to the shed, then across to the well before fleeing by climbing over the wall. I wonder why they chose such a winding route.
Well, let's go check everything, shall we? Oh, rotund. Well, I'm working on a case here,
There's
Kusu.
something glittering at the bottom there, but how can I reach it?
That's probably all the silverware. We're supposed to... Dang. Item required. Okay, I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you wishing well.
This hook might be useful.
Well, I found what we needed for the wishing.
Bags of seed. Some empty bags were recently moved. Small gardening tools. Nothing of great interest. This old suitcase sounds hollow. It must
Maybe
be
they
empty.
have like a gardener or something that has a sailing background.
Silverware. This is
Wow.
hardly a coincidence. The Brackenstall coat of arms. It appears that we have found the stolen silverware.
That's kind of cool though. Like, we should have our own like just initial our freaking silverware, so we know if it's like been used by someone or stolen. Or... Well, I guess the only thing I didn't check is if the wall had anything interactable on it. There's our dog. Hi, dog.
Brave Toby. The best nose in the British Empire.
He deserves all of the good tech. Dialogue. Okay, so that's what we're... We must go speak with the lady. We have found your stolen items, madam.
We found your silverware, Lady Brackenstall. It had not been taken very far.
Is that true? I am very thankful to you, Mr. Holmes.
If some, I don't know.
We found your mistress's silverware.
Oh,
Hello,
that's
Cadet
good news.
Stephen.
You really are as clever as they say.
Indeed.
Yes.
Inspector, I have recovered the stolen silverware.
You are a wizard, Mr. Holmes. And where is it?
In the garden well.
Excuse me?
Unique, isn't it?
Rather absurd. What is the point of stealing silverware and then throwing it down into a well?
Perhaps it was used as a temporary hiding place, or simply the thieves wanted to get rid of it. It is up to us to solve this mystery.
The robbery is confirmed as the motive. I don't think the robbery was the murder, or the motive. The robbery could have been imitated to explain Sir Eustace's death. The silverware was not supposed to be found. Yeah, I agree with that. And I believe the robbery was fake. The whole story was invented. Yep. I also believe that. What is this? Poker blow. Acquainted with a sailor. Sailor background. We're missing one. Murderous visitor. Sir Eustace was murdered by the one person who was visiting that night. It was he who tied up Lady Brackenstall. He is tall and strong. That's what we were supposed to do. So now that we did that, we're supposed to look for the sailor. And the Rock of Gibraltar is a bulk carrier from the Adelaide, Southampton, London line. Has returned from 6-month voyage through India, New Zealand, and Australia. The ship brought to England Miss Mary Fraser, the heiress to the Fraser family, owning land and tin mines in Australia. The reportedly beautiful young lady is presently engaged to Sir Eustace Brackenstall, one of the wealthiest gentlemen in Kent.
Here it is. The shipping company, the Adelaide, Southampton, London line, and its address. Interesting. It must be the place where they keep the records, including the one for the crew of the Rock of Gibraltar.
I think that if you pretend you're from Scotland Yard, they'll give it to you without any problems.
But I have another solution. I'll call in the specialist.
And then we need to go to the window and call Wiggins.
Wiggins, could you come upstairs, please?
Old trusty Wiggins.
At your service, Mr. Holmes.
I need a register, my young friend. If you could borrow it, there will be half a guinea for every one of you. I need the crew list of the Rock of Gibraltar in 1893 and their current employment.
I'm straight on it, Mr. Holmes.
Do you really think they'll find it, Holmes?
My secret police is better than the Yard in many ways.
3 hours later.
Here it is, Mr. Holmes. But we can't take it back. It's too risky.
Put it on the table. I'll take care of it. Good work, young Wiggins.
They work fast? I mean, 3 hours. Gee. Gee. Search for possible sailor stuff. Ah, it was on the table, right?
This list shows the senior officers of the Rock of Gibraltar, on which Lady Brackenstall and her maid made their voyage. Lady Brackenstall does not know anyone in England. This must mean that someone on this list is our mysterious visitor. And these are the lists of the senior officers of the Adelaide, Southampton, London line ships. Let us find out who was in London upon November the 7th.
Right.
This officer is still at sea, therefore he cannot be involved.
Ta-da! We go to the next one.
This officer was on a ship that sailed half a month ago. He wasn't in London at the time of the crime.
So he crossed
I
out.
do not think that this sailor has any connection to the case.
Oh, I meant to switch.
I do not think that this sailor has any connection to the
papers.
case. This list shows the senior officers of the Rock. This officer was on a ship that sailed half a month ago. He wasn't in London at the time of the crime.
Yeah.
Mr. Jack Crocker was in London upon the date of the crime, and he is due to depart in 2 days.
Okay. Is that it?
This officer is still at sea, therefore he cannot be involved.
Herbert. Oh,
This
Thomas
list, this
is on this
officer
one.
is still at sea, therefore he cannot be involved.
We need to find Henry.
This officer is still at sea, therefore
So it's literally only
Captain
Jack.
Crocker is our mysterious visitor. He was the only one around at the time of the murder.
Right. Investigate. Call Crocker to confront him.
This Crocker, do you think...
It would be interesting to meet him. Our young friend should be able to find him.
Maybe it was just a personal grudge.
Wiggins, could you find a way to bring this Captain Crocker here to us?
Here? Holmes, that could be dangerous.
No problem, Mr. Holmes.
Sometime later.
Mr. Holmes, I was informed that you were looking for me, and I'd like to know why.
Yes, it is important that we talk. You will soon understand why.
Okay, let's profile him. First things first. Clear look, honest. Oh, hold on. No hands? They usually do hands. Oh. Newspaper ink. Oh. Clean boots. Oh. There's a knife somewhere? Sea knife.
You are acquainted with Lady Mary Brackenstall, are you not?
Yes, I think I do remember her from when I was first officer, but I still don't see.
It seems your relationship went beyond that of mere passenger and first officer.
How dare you?
Indeed, how reckless a feeling is love, particularly if
I
one
had a
is prepared to commit a
feeling.
murder in its name.
Explain yourself this instant.
You are aware that the murder made the headlines of the morning press. You read the newspaper report, but to your dismay, found it much fabricated. Once you learned that I wanted to see you, you came straight away. You needed to know what I had found.
You... and what do you know?
That evening, you were with Lady Brackenstall, despite the danger.
I'm not afraid, Mr. Holmes. Besides, all of this is just guesswork.
You would be right if there was no evidence.
What then?
They were only on a ship together for like a month. I don't know if they could have like fallen in love, but like that's just
Lady Brackenstall was tied to a chair
to
on the
commit
night of the
murder.
and it was you who tied her up.
You call that evidence?
It was the sailor's knot.
Yes, as she was tied with a sailor's knot. Your handiwork.
Mike, thank you for the
So,
gifted sub.
It's a sailor who's done it. That proves nothing, Mr. Holmes. I'm not the only sailor in London right now.
Hiding
Your
from
theory is
Kusu.
flawed anyway. On the night of the murder, I was aboard the Sharp. I was supervising the repair of a porthole.
At night.
It was an emergency. There was a leak. You can ask the ship's carpenter. He can confirm.
I'm sure that he can.
Perfect. In that case, we have nothing more to talk about. Good evening, gentlemen.
That doesn't mean we believe it.
Holmes, what should we do now? Would you like to check his alibi?
No, there is no doubt that these men will testify in his favor, and there will be no way to check.
So, what then?
So, we must work with what we have. We have all the puzzle pieces.
Now I understand why you dissected the bell rope.
This is a short one. Crocker is lying. His involvement is clear. He appeared as soon as he heard that I was looking for him, thus signaling his guilt. Or he was aboard the Sharp on the night of the murder. He was not afraid to confront me. Confident demeanor. Like, I just believe this is it. Like, the last one we were working with was really hard, but I just think that this is it. I think it's the captain. The knots that lady, what was her name, Brackenstall was tied up with was, first of all, cut with a knife and then tied in sailor's knots. So they would have to have a sailor's background to know how to even tie a sailor's knot. Lady Brackenstall also claims that it was the infamous, well-known father and two sons, but there was only two people because there was only 2 glasses of wine. There is a third glass, but it's from it's like the extra from decantering it or whatever. I don't drink wine enough. I think that the black eye was not given to her by the intruder. I think the husband gave her the black eye, and then he probably like hid him back to protect her or something. Was murdered by the one person who was visiting that night. The murderer is tall and agile and a high-ranking sailor. But even though we know it's him, the murder was committed in self-defense. Jack Crocker defended a woman against a violent, dipsomissional man. The mystery is solved, but you decide to keep it a secret. So, even though we know he did it, like, we don't have to arrest him. Because we know why he was. I'm not gonna arrest him for that. I didn't expect this one to be so short.
Wiggins, could you ask Mr. Crocker to come here again, please?
Right away.
Why did you make me come here again, Mr. Holmes?
It is over. I know that it was you who killed Sir Eustace Brackenstall.
What?
I know, because of the height at which the rope was cut. The knife used
that's
was
true
a sea
too.
knife. The knots were sailor's knots, and not least the sheer force that was put behind the killing blow. And because you are the only one who knows Lady Mary Brackenstall in London. And because you love her.
It's true.
Well,
It is
there it
time
is.
for you to tell us the whole truth.
I admit that I loved Mary madly from the first day that I met her. But I never did come to visit her, for I believed that she was in a happy household. When I talked to her maid, who told me everything, I was insane with rage. I was due to set sail for 6 months away. I wanted only to see her again. But it turned into a damnable nightmare when he barged in. He dared raise his hand to her. He was not even worthy of licking her boots. Oh, I regret nothing. I admit I killed the monster out of love for her. She will forgive me if she is able.
Lady Brackenstall already forgave you. She said nothing.
Mary.
But that makes her an accomplice as well as her maid. It places her in danger yet again.
Mr. Holmes.
You would not have managed to protect her.
Till I die, do you hear me? Here is a letter that sets everything clear. And it is the one that should be disclosed to the police. I am the only culprit. Mary had nothing to do with it.
Wow.
Now it is time to end this.
What was with that music? Oh! What the heck? Ah!
Please forgive me, Captain Crocker. I wished only to test your sincerity, and your words and deeds have far exceeded my expectations. See here, Captain Crocker, we'll do this in due form of law. You are the prisoner. Watson, you are a British jury. Captain Crocker, the evidence shows that you acted without premeditation and used reasonable force to protect an innocent victim from her husband's brutality. Your devotion pushed you to attempt to kill yourself in order to protect the one you love. Now, what say you, gentlemen of the jury?
Not guilty, my lord.
Vox populi,
What?
vox dei. You are acquitted, Captain Crocker. So long as the law does not find some other victim, you are safe from me.
Mr. Holmes.
It is a great responsibility that I take upon myself, but I will give Lestrade an excellent lead, and if he can't avail himself of it, I can do no more. Come back to your lady in a year, and may her future and yours justify us in the judgment which we have pronounced this night.
I wasn't expecting to like wrestle with him.
Inspector, I'm afraid that the murderers have escaped us.
What? Do you mean to tell me that you failed? Never thought I'd live to see the day.
I mentioned the murderers, not the case. It is obvious that the crime was committed by 3 criminals who cannot be the Randalls.
You really think so?
You only need to find a gang of 3 thugs wandering around. I can trust you to do that.
If they exist, I'll catch them.
You'll find someone, I have no doubt of it. Goodbye, Inspector.
Sir Eustace was murdered by Captain Jack Crocker, who was visiting Lady Brackenstall that night. They staged it as a robbery by the Randall gang. Crocker used his sea knife to cut the bell rope to tie the lady, then hid the silverware in the well. Jack Crocker defended a woman against a violent and you have decided to keep it a secret. 94% of players solved the case the same way, and 64% of players made the same moral choice. 6% of players really didn't think it was him?